Morning. It is June 14th, 2010. I'm going to be giving a little talk today, a short talk about something which I've been hearing a lot of coming from debt collectors and also coming from some creditors, some credit card companies. This is one that I think is very insidious and it's very deceptive, and it's one that I think I need to warn you about. And I got to tell you exactly what it is. A debt collector or a creditor will contact you and will say, if you pay off your debt right now, or if you pay off some negotiated amount or some agreed upon amount, they're not going to credit report you, or they're going to remove the credit reporting on you. Now, it's two different topics. So this particular one today deals with the situation where you already have a mark on your credit report for, let's say, a late payment. Let's say you have a credit card. Let's say it's in default. You haven't made payments for a few months or several months, and a year, 6 months, 9 months, 2 years down the road, a debt collector calls you and a debt collector says, if you pay off the balance on the credit card right now, we will remove the negative credit reporting on your particular account. I want to tell you something. 99.9% of the time, this is a false promise. This is a lie that they are telling you to try to get you to pay off the balance. All they're going to do is, I'll tell you what they're going to do. They will change the reporting from charged off or from 90 days late, however they have it reported. They will change it from that reporting to a new reporting category, which they have for the credit reporting, and it's called settled for less than full amount. Now, what they don't tell you is that settled for less than full amount as a credit reporting notation on someone's account is derogatory. It's just as bad as having a late payment on there. What it's basically telling future creditors, and what it's also basically telling your FICO score, is that you don't pay your debts. So settled for less than full amount is a derogatory. It has a negative effect upon your FICO score, and it has a negative effect if you're out there applying for credit with future creditors. It is not removing the derogatory from your credit report. So if they call you up, if a debt collector calls you up, and let's say you have a Visa card, and the Visa card is charged off, the Visa card is late, and they say they will remove the negative credit reporting for your Visa card if you pay, they're lying to you. All they're going to do is change the reporting from, let's say, 90 days late, charged off, whatever it is, to settled for less than full amount. Furthermore, what they're not telling you is they actually could be harming your credit score. And let me explain how this works. The time when a derogatory derogatory notation on your credit report, let's say 90 days late, 30 days late, whatever it is, the time when it's most harmful to your credit report is when it's first reported to your credit report and for a period of about maybe 6 months thereafter. During that period of time, a derogatory on your credit report will have a definite, strong downward influence or effect upon your FICO score. But then after about 6 months, it doesn't matter as much, and its effect upon your FICO score is gradually less and less and less. And after a derogatory on your credit report is maybe a year and a half to 2 years old, it's having almost no effect whatsoever on your credit report, or maybe an effect of maybe just a few points at most. In short, it's not really affecting your credit score. However, if let's say you have a 2-year-old debt, and that 2-year-old derogatory on your credit report in 2008, you defaulted on a credit card, and in 2010 it's still showing up on your credit report, but it actually went into default. It was actually charged off back in 2008. Here in 2010, it's having very, very little effect upon your credit score, almost none. But if a debt collector calls you up and says, if you pay, we're going to quote unquote remove the derogatory from your credit report, and here in June of 2010 you make a payment on that credit card or on that account, and they go and they change it to settled for less than full amount. What is going to happen is it's going to be like a new activity on that particular account. So settled for less than full amount is suddenly a new credit reporting onto your credit report, and because it's a derogatory notation, it's going to sink your credit score for a year and a half. And it's going to have the opposite effect of what you're intending. When I hear about my clients hearing this from debt collectors, what they're hearing is that it's basically part of credit cleanup or credit repair. They're going to get their FICO score back to normal if they pay off that Visa card now. And then they make a payment, They change the reporting. The debt collector changes the reporting to settle for less than full amount, and then their FICO score goes down. It could go down by a lot. So it is a vicious lie. If a debt collector contacts you about a credit account that is on your credit report as a derogatory mark, it's charged off, it's 90 days late, 120 days late, whatever it is, and they promise you that if you make a payment or if you settle the account for such and such amount, they're going to remove the negative credit reporting from that account. They're lying to you. All they're going to do is they're going to change it for less than full amount, because this is a new reporting that's happening, today or whenever you would make the payment. It is going to immediately have a negative impact upon your FICO score, upon your Fair Isaac score. It is a lie. It is a trap. Please avoid it. The better thing to do is just say no. Just say, listen, that's an old debt. Let it fall off your credit report altogether. Let it slide. Like I say, after a year and a half, after 2 years, it's not really having an effect upon your FICO score anymore anyway. Just let it go. I mean, from a moral point of view, I always encourage my clients to pay off their debts and all that type of stuff. But the way the system is rigged right now, that people can actually be punished in present time for paying off an old debt, that's something you need to consider in the moral balance of whether or not you pay a debt off today, or whether you choose not to, whether you just let it slide off your report. Anyway, I hope the information has been useful, and thank you for listening in.